And the cost of actually marketing is zero. But what it does cost you is time. And what it does actually do is build credibility. Hi guys, it's Arsh, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you the best way to find your first deal. And believe it or not, it's actually easier than you can imagine. Now before we do that, I need a small favor from you. If you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. Every time I release a video, you get notified of it. Now, as you may be aware, this channel is sponsored by the Property Investor app, which is the UK's first property investment platform, which showcases all kinds of deals all over the UK. Whether it's a below market value deal, a rent to rent deal, a lease option deal, we've got them all there. Now there are two ways to get involved. You can either go to the website, which is propertyinvestораpp.co.uk, or if you've got a smartphone, go to the App Store, type in Property Investor and download it from there. Now, I hear all the time, and one of the most common things that people ask, where do I find my first deal? How do I get my first deal? Now, as you know, there's probably two ways that you can actually get your first deal. You can either do a direct to vendor marketing campaign. And what I mean by this is that you start to approach vendors or homeowners direct, asking if they want to sell their property, put out a marketing campaign, whether this be via a leaflet, whether you track them via sold data on land registry, and you write them a letter. You see what properties are being sold or what properties have fallen through, and you track that, and once they've fallen through, you then contact them. So this is called a direct to vendor campaign. Now, very successful. It is easy to do. It's very successful once you get it right. Now, my only issue with that is that, first of all, it's costly. So you've got to either you've got to design and print a leaflet, or you've got to come up with some really good copy on a letter. Now, how you send that letter will then determine, who picks it up. So are you sending it to the property address? Or if it's like a HMO, you don't want to send it to the HMO because tenants are going to pick it up. So you then send it to the owner's correspondence address. Now, if you give me a letter, let's just imagine that that's a letter. On the back of that letter, you've only got so much that you can write. So can you tell that vendor everything that you do and what you can offer them on a piece of paper? More importantly, how do you know how that vendor is going to perceive it? Are they going to pick it up and go think, oh, that's fantastic, I really love that, I'm going to call them right now? The answer is probably not. So my question is, when are they going to call you? Are they going to call you today? They're going to call you tomorrow? They're going to call you next month? They're going to call you in a year's later? You just never know. So you can't track that data. Yes, you can track how many letters you sent. Yes, you can track where you sent it. But then it's almost like a waiting game. You're now waiting for them to react to your letter. So it's very reactive. Now, the second part is, believe it or not, and this is probably my preferred method, because let's face it, writing a letter, it costs on average around £5 per letter. So let's just imagine that you've got a HMO that you've seen on the HMO register. Now, off the back of that, you've now gone and spent £3 on land registry to download the title register. You're now going to write a letter. So you've got the paper, you've got the ink, you've got the envelope, you've got the stamp. All in all, by the time you've downloaded all the details, it's going to cost you approximately £5. Now, if you do that, let's say 100 times a month, that's £500 a month, which is £6,000 a year. Now, in reality, all you need is one deal to come through and it would have paid for itself. And I'm going to give you my thought process, because yes, you can get that one deal, and all you need is that one owner that has got one property. And if you get a 25%, 30% below market value deal, and you've saved yourself 30,000, the cost of that acquisition was 6,000 for the year. And then that's not only to say that that's the only deal that you're going to do that year. So it is a good strategy. However, it's slow. However, you don't know when you're going to get the call. This is why I prefer working with agents nationwide. So I use portals like Rightmove, Zoopla, and On the Market. Now, if you're starting out in property, this is probably the easiest way for you to do it. And the reason why I say that is because let's imagine now your marketing budget that we talked about a minute ago was £6,000. Now, to a nationwide estate agency like Connells, Reeds Rains, and some of the nationals, their marketing budget may be £200,000, £300,000, £400,000, £500,000. And what they're doing is they're touting people looking to sell their properties, whether they be motivated, whether they're just literally upscaling, downscaling. They actually market for all of them. Now, my question to you is that would you rather work very hard and send out 100 letters a month for the whole year to do one or two deals, or would you rather spend the time networking with multiple agents who can bring you multiple deals every month? And the cost of actually marketing is zero, but what it does cost you is time, and what it does actually do is build credibility. What it actually does is fill your pipeline with properties. Now, there's pros and cons of doing this way. Pros is that you're going to see a lot more properties, and you're going to be able to call agents pretty much day after day after day after day day. Cons are is that you may not get a greater discount as you would if you're direct to the vendor, because you've now got a gatekeeper between you and the vendor. That gatekeeper is the estate agent. So you've now got to relay all your information to the estate agent who has also got a vested interest in this property, because they make a commission on the sold price, not the actual. So let's say it was marketed at 100,000, you agree 80,000. Their commission is now based on the 80,000, not the 100,000. So you could say that the estate agent has an interest in selling this property for the most value in order to get the most amount of commission. So if you go in and say, guys, I only want to offer 70,000, but they've got someone else that's offering 72 or 74, maybe even 80,000, naturally they're going to go for the higher offer. So you may come across some friction there. But saying that, you've got a number of different deals. And remember, they get all kinds of properties. So they get single lets, they get buy to lets, they get, natural just homes that people live in. They've got HMOs, they've got blocks of apartments, they get land, they get commercial, they get industrial. So they get all these different types of deals, and all it takes is time. So if you are completely new to property and you want to get started, or you want to actually get out there, actually start networking with agents. That's my biggest tip for you. Now, people say to me, Arsh, if you're so good at acquiring a property, why do you still use agents? Very simple, guys. I'm a simple guy. Let's use their marketing budget. Now, why do I want to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on marketing when someone else is already doing it for me? And in actual fact, all I'm doing is speaking to one person or speaking to a group of people, as opposed to speaking to all these different vendors, spending all this different time, writing all these different letters. It's about working smart. And that is my biggest tip for you guys. Did you know there's over the best part of 50,000 agents in the UK? Think about that. Now, for each agent, even if they only had, let's say, 20 properties, that's a lot of properties nationwide. Can you imagine how much your marketing cost would be to try and generate that kind of traffic? It'd be impossible. The one-man band or starting out, you couldn't afford that kind of level of marketing. So work and piggyback off the others. So there we have it, guys. It really is as simple as that. I've not sugarcoated it. I've tried to make it as simple as you can. Get out there, start networking, start speaking to agents, start telling them who you are, what you're all about, and believe it or not, watch the deals fill in your inbox. First of all, apologies, got a bit of a cough, so you can probably hear that I'm struggling, but I really hope that you've enjoyed that video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button. As well as that, if you like more free content, I release a podcast every Tuesday at 6 a.m. It's called The Property Rebel. Go and check it out. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, just to name a few. As well as that, if you want to connect with me on social media, feel free to find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all under the handle of Arsh. And as well as that, guys, as I said at the start of this video, this channel is sponsored by the Property Investor app, which is the UK's first property investment platform, which showcases all kinds of deals all over the UK. Whether you're looking for below market value deals, rent to rent deals, lease option deals, we've got them all there. Now, two ways to get involved. You can either go to the website, which is propertyinvestorapp.co.uk, or if you've got a smartphone, go to the App Store, type in Property Investor and download it from there. So on that note, guys, I really hope that you've enjoyed it. Really is as simple as I say it is. Go out, let's start seeing what deals you got. And if you want to sell them on the Property Investor app, reach out to me by going to the app and sending us a message. And I look forward to speaking to you all very soon. Thank you and bye-bye.